Welcome back. 2 years ago, the global wellness economy reached $3.7 trillion US dollars, and it's forecast to grow at 17% for the next 5 years.
A huge part of this includes the yoga industry, which has over 300 million practitioners worldwide. In the U.S., it's the fourth fastest growing industry. James, do you practice yoga?
I've tried it. I've got friends who do it fairly regularly, but I generally stick to the gym.
Right, same here, but I do have a lot of friends who practice it. In Hong Kong, it's very popular, where more people are turning to yoga for fitness and stress management, and it's become a viable career in this fast-paced city.
You know your strength. Let's try chaturanga. Upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Eggs.
Stretching and contorting your way to fitness and, more importantly, mindfulness has become a fast-growing trend in the city.
I think the yoga is actually more manageable than other hardcore fitness, and it's good for like a newbie like me.
This local yoga chain opened their first studio in 2002. Today, they have 12 yoga studios in Hong Kong, 4 in Singapore, and 2 each in Shanghai and Taipei.
When we first started, I can remember there were no yoga teachers, and there were only, I think there was 4 other yoga studios. So we had to advertise outside Hong Kong. 3 teachers that were willing to come to Hong Kong, because first of all, they're in North America, and they're like, Hong Kong, oh, fantastic. Never been, want to come. And so we wrote to the immigration department to apply for a work visa. And they had no idea. Yoga studio.
Back then, applying for a visa for a yoga teacher was a complicated matter. But today, Colin says it's much easier to do. In fact, they now run their own teacher training yoga course because interest is so high. There's no shortage of yoga teachers. Trifina is one of their instructors. 13 years ago, she was an events manager for a 5-star international hotel chain in New York City. To deal with her high-pressure job, she started taking yoga to calm herself.
Yoga sneaks up on you, you know? So, like when I first started practicing it, it really was just a time for me to stretch my body. But as the years went by, I realized that as I started to practice more, there was that sense of mindfulness to connect the dots of my diet and how it affects how I feel, and then the way I relate to people. A friend of mine recommended that maybe I should look into becoming a teacher.
Because you're kicking like a donkey, yeah?
She's now been teaching yoga for over 10 years. She moved to Hong Kong 6 years ago and works for Colin's company. While she makes less money as a yoga instructor than an events coordinator, she says she's much more fulfilled.
I used to living in New York. I used to go out to eat like a few times a week. But now actually I enjoy cooking for myself. And so I have to really be mindful of how I choose to spend my money. The importance of spending my money is really into investing into my own study in yoga or in any other areas that, you know, I like to improve myself on.
And I guess this is something that you can do now with the type of lifestyle you have.
Yeah, so I get to play every day. Yeah, so there are days when I spend like hours just playing on it.
And is this something that helps you with your kind of mindfulness?
It does. So when I first started doing yoga, I thought chanting was very too spiritual, a little bit weird. But actually now I realize the power of the music, the vibrations that we create through our own voice. It helps me to get more grounded, and it quiets my mind a lot because my mind's focused on just creating the music. So after chanting for half an hour, I'm like in a different space.
Aside from the inner calm the yoga lifestyle creates, the upside of it becoming more mainstream is that it's run more professionally.
We have a minimum amount of classes that we have to teach, and anything beyond our minimum we get paid by the per class rate. And we get paid annual leave. medical benefits, which a lot of yoga teachers don't get. We get a scholarship fund.
Frances Gerrans, editor and publisher of the free yoga magazine Namaskar, has seen the industry grow from the late 1990s when small groups of people would rent rooms for a class and collect payment in cash from each student. She says the opening of a professionally run yoga studio changed the landscape.
The mats are there, and we have towels. Some of the studios even have clothes. You can even have a workout clothes. So, for busy Hong Kong people, that was just perfect. They could just come with nothing in their lunch hour. Because I know how
she says one tragic epidemic in 2003 helped fuel the yoga craze.
SARS, ironically, also gave yoga a bit of a kickstart because maybe it made people consider how they were dealing with their own health and their wellness. And I feel that after SARS, that the yoga really started to pick up, that a lot of people started coming into the studios.
The growth of her magazine has mimicked the growth of the industry. In 1999, only about 10 yoga instructors were listed on their back page. Today, that number has grown to 60. They're also printing more copies despite being available online.
When the Yoga Society started this magazine in 1999, I think they were printing just under 1,000. Now we print about 6,000, and then we distribute it in about 32 countries around the world.
And getting advertisers to cover the cost of printing is no longer an issue.
We have a long list. In fact, we're all sold out for the next 3 years.
Frances says she's heartened to see the growth of yoga. Back in 1999, the Yoga Society had to scrape together a collection to cover the cost of a visit from world-renowned yogi Rodney Yee to come to Hong Kong to run a workshop.
Just come and hang out, teach a little class, and go to dinner and call it a day. And now we're at, the AYC conventions, where now there's literally thousands of people coming through for a weekend.
Rodney and his wife Colleen Seidman, also a prominent yogi, were in town recently for the Asia Yoga Conference, which drew over 3,000 visitors from the region to attend workshops held by 52 experts. They say yoga is now mainstream in the US, and they see the trend happening in Hong Kong.
You're going to have a long, sustained sort of educational movement towards integrating yoga even more. I mean, we're only beginning to be in the schools. We're only beginning to be in the medical communities. We're only beginning to be in corporations. So you're going to see this lateral growth.
Kennedy School in Pak Fulham has already incorporated yoga into their primary school curriculum.
Schools are all talking about well-being now more than ever, but I think there's a difference about talking about it and actually putting in place some strong programs. So at Kennedy, we're actively trying to make sure that we're doing what we say we're doing.
Lying on your right side.
Bhakti Wong, the school's yoga instructor, used to work in marketing for a large media company before making the transition to teaching yoga.
From a mom teaching prenatal yoga to my kids being in the school, and it's just like, hey, you want to teach it? Yes, because my kid is there.
She says the kids pick up yoga faster than the adults.
They have no fear, some of them, right? So they see you do it, they go, okay, I'm just going to do it. Whereas adults are like, tell me left, right, front, back, am I properly aligned? It says, yeah, but they just like, they just go into it, which is really nice. They just like embrace it.
A Tulane University study reports that yoga helps improve psychosocial and emotional quality of life for children compared to those who don't practice it.
I like yoga because it always makes me feel calm either when I'm sad, happy, angry, tired.
I like yoga because to me, it's happiness and mindfulness and about balance.
If maybe I have lots of things in my mind, like I'm worried about something, it just it just makes me think that it's okay because I'm feeling calm now.
Tim Luck, the PE teacher, says feedback from other teachers who have the kids after yoga class have seen a marked difference in the students.
The teachers have said that when they leave our sessions and go to class, they're much calmer and ready to learn.
And their parents are positive about it as well.
We talk to the parents about what we're doing with their children from a well-being, mindful yoga point of view, and we actually got them to do a few of the exercises themselves. So they've been very, very supportive.
While yoga might have started as a fad and is now a fast-growing industry, the key takeaway is that the philosophy of mindfulness and the calmness it imparts to practitioners is something that everyone can benefit from.